I'm sure that's all what you wanted to see was me drinking my soda. All right. We are now live. And today is October 23rd. Want to thank everybody for joining this episode of the Falcon Fly By. A week away from Halloween and those scary, scary clowns we need to worry about. So let's go ahead and first things first, as always, let's give a big shout out to all our sponsors. First being Multi-Mold Guns up in Troy, Michigan. They just came out with a new pattern basket weave, Kydex in black. As we know, most police gear is a basket weave pattern, and they just released that. I believe they released it last week or this Friday, so that was pretty cool on them. Big shout out to those guys. They're always doing big things over there. So check them out, Multi-Mold Guns, whether you need mold guns for Kydex bending, or you're looking for that new Kydex wallet, or you're just, hey, looking for something Kydex. They have it. We work with them quite a bit. They provide us all our mold guns. So big shout out to Tony up there in Troy, Michigan, and Multi-Mold Guns. Then let's move on to Grey Wolf Tactical Combat. They are our second sponsor, and we're working with them. They're going to help us doing gear reviews here on the Falcon Flyby, as well as they are going to be sending us 5 different brands of bio BBs. Hopefully we'll have those next week, and we are going to actually do a series, probably take 2 or 3 shows, and we're going to show you guys, crush tests. We're going to cut them down the middle, look to see if there's any air bubbles. Then what we're going to do is probably like a shooting variant out of an AEG, a bolt gun, and a pistol as well. That way you guys can see how they perform out of 3 different guns, or 3 different types of airsoft guns. And we'll probably make a series out of that. And that'll probably be, that'll probably be like a daytime show, like mid-afternoon. We'll go out and do the shooting test, and we'll let you guys see that, and then we'll come in, we'll have our regular Falcon Flyby and kind of give a recap of our entire review of the ammo that's being sent to us. So we want to thank Grey Wolf Tactical Combat. They are also working with us on a project. I'm just going to call it Project X for right now. And they are helping us out with that, which we thank them a lot. So guys, please check them out. If you're looking for anything airsoft, Enola Gaze, they have the smoke grenades too. They have thunder bangs. They have rifles, pistols, tack gear. They have the whole gambit. So definitely check them out. And then our third and newest sponsor is Defiant Industries. They are clothing apparel, and definitely check them out as well. So let's go ahead and get right into airsoft events. So there was a skirmish day out in Port Orchard, which happened today out in Washington. So anybody that's on the West Coast, that was going on out there. We'll just go right down. Next week on Wednesday, starting at 9 p.m., we'll have the Flyby podcast. And that is more of an adult rated podcast. It's a live podcast. It's on MixLR. You guys can chat. We can use the call lines and let you guys in and ask questions or comments. Please feel free to do so, because we love having the lively conversations going on. So starting at 9 o'clock on Wednesday, October 26th, you'll have the Flyby podcast. So definitely check that out. We'll go ahead and we'll share that out on our timeline, and we'll share it again on the Falcon Flyby page. October 29th, out at the 17th South Rod and Gun Club here in Georgia, we have a 3-gun match. They had a rain date set up for the one that happened earlier. That was going to happen, but they have it scheduled. One of our sponsor shooters, Ryan Tabakin, is going to be out there. He uses our gear, mag pouches for his pistol, rifle, and we're working on new shotgun shell holders for him as well. Something new that once we have Ryan test and use them and he lets us know how they work, we'll turn around and we'll release them to you, the public, for sale. Obviously, we want to make sure these things work and they work well. And we're also building him a new holster that while he's out there, this holster will bear the markings of Falcon Battle Systems. So he'll have a piece of gear that has our logo all over it, and we're looking forward to it. So then we go October 29th, same day for you Airsoft players. We have Op Safe Haven out at Black Ops Airsoft South. This is starting at which Saturday the 29th. I'm sorry, yeah, Saturday the 29th. And this is going to be, like I said, out at Black Ops Airsoft in Centerville, South Carolina. And it starts at 10 a.m. So get your tickets and get out there and have a great time out at Black Ops Airsoft South. Then the big event coming up in November, right off the bat, we're starting with Operation Faded Giant 5 by American Milsim. I've been talking to you guys, letting you know that our cutoff date to ship stuff out is the 28th. We do have, I believe, 2 orders for Faded Giant that we're finishing up right now, and those will be going out the door probably Wednesday, the 26th. But the 28th is our cutoff date. That guarantees that you'll get these products to you before you head out the door. And the 28th is Friday, if I am correct. So we're gonna shoot. I'm sorry, between the 26th and 28th. We're going to shoot to get these products out the door for you guys. And the game is on the 5th and 6th. So, again, if we get them out in those time frames, you guys should get everything on time. They are all sold out from what I understand. So, it looks like it's going to be a great event. It's going to be out at the government training facility in South Carolina. So, this will be in Barnesville, South Carolina. It looks like P90 Girl is going to be out there and a few others. So definitely get out there if you can and enjoy it, even if you're out there just to meet and greet and talk to some of the players out there, what have you. Then we have Operation Starburst 8, November 11th through the 13th. This is out in Mathis, Texas. This is being put on by Third Coast Airsoft and Airsoft Junkies. They're one of the primary sponsors. So definitely check them out. Again, for this event, if anybody is wanting to put in orders for the smoke grenades, the 40 millimeter pouches, and our 80 millimeter pouches, because that's about the size of our bigger ones. I believe they're I want to say they're actually between 60 and 70 millimeters, but they carry the bigger Thunder Bees, the Enola Gay EG-18s, VTG, the big SWAT VTG grenades, not the BFGSs. So if you guys are wanting that, I highly recommend you get your orders in now. Because the cutoff date for those will actually we'll make the cutoff date for those. Thursday, the 3rd of November. We want to make sure you get your gear in time. And with most places with priority mail, I mean, I've sent stuff out to California that they've gotten it in 3 days, 2 days, in some cases. So we have a really weird shipping here anyways, but if you're going to order anything from us, please get the orders in this week, especially for Starburst, so that way we can get that out to you very quickly. Then we have on November 12th, we have Op OVK, Ohio versus Kentucky. This is going to be at Fallen Warriors Airsoft. This is in Chillicothe, Ohio, and I know I probably murdered that, so if somebody wants to correct me, please feel free to do that. But it's going to be at Fallen Warriors Airsoft, or where this is going to be at, and it's November 12th, which is Saturday, and they are starting at 7 a.m. for that event. So definitely check that out. Then we go on November 19th, Gladico 3, which is going to be at Balahak Airsoft. This is Saturday, November 19th at 7 a.m. is when it starts. I am going to try to make this event as much as I possibly can. It is the week before Thanksgiving, so hopefully I can get in an airsoft game there. The field is phenomenal. It's one of the biggest fields on the East Coast. I believe the guy who does the drone operations for Balahak also does the drone operations for the Extreme SEAL Challenge. It's Senior Chief Don Shipley. It's his venture that he does out there in Chesapeake, Virginia. So it's a pretty cool thing that they work together. So definitely check that out if you're in the Chesapeake area. Check out Balahak Airsoft. Again, they had an amazing weekend from what I saw. and it's just going to be a great time for them. Operation Overwatch 2, December 2nd through the 4th. This is being put on by Deathwatch Airsoft, and it'll be in Immokalee, Florida. And I know I've killed that. I've said that name, like that city, so many different ways. I was supposed to be down there as an actual production vendor, but I am more than likely going to donate probably 5 of our double packs of our 40 millimeter pouches. And then we'll have probably 5 to 7 banger FKT player packs going out that way as well. So then we have, I believe, coming up on December 3rd through the 4th, Reindeer Games. X is 10, V is 15. So we 15. This looks to be a pretty big event, and I believe this is being held by American Milsim. It's going to be at Fort Hood Army Base in Texas. So again, they got you guys out there on an Army base. So how can you throw that away? It's going to be at the Mount facility there, the EMF Mount facility. And again, they're talking $165 per player plus tax. You must have a valid state federal ID because this is a federal facility. So all the early bird tickets have sold out, and this was posted as of October 18th. So if you go to the event, you look at it, they've already sold out the early bird tickets. So they're not messing around. So if you're in the Fort Hood area or you're in the Texas area, there you go. Can't complain about playing on a mountain facility on a military base. Waiting for my page to catch up. There it goes. Then we have Rev 7, which is going to be back at Bellahawk Airsoft, December 10th through the 11th. Another good event that's going on out there. So again, if you're in the Chesapeake Bay area or in the Chesapeake area, definitely check that out. Following that on December 11th at Gunny's Warfare Center, we have Operation Christmas Rush, which is December 11th on the 8th, and this is at Wax Hall, North Carolina. I'm definitely going to try to make it out to this event. I think that's going to be a fun one to play. So definitely check that one out. We'll do some live broadcasts. Any event we go to, we're going to try to do live broadcasts from. So that way we can get this stuff up and you guys can check out some of the action. Then starting right smack come January, I mean, there is no rest for the weary. You get a little break for Christmas. You get the New Year's holiday, and then we hit right on it. Fragile Sovereignty 2. It's going to be put on by Tog Milsim, January 13th through the 15th at Venture Beach Airsoft. FBS will be there as a vendor on site. We are actually the Green Team CO, so we're looking forward to it. Please come out and enjoy this game. This is going to be at, like I said, a Venture Beach Airsoft at Traverse City, North Carolina. So definitely check that page out. Check them out. Milsim West comes out with C's Gronzi. This is going to be at Camp Shelby, JFTC MS. January 27th through the 29th. And this is going to be out there. Again, it looks like they got on another military base, so get out there and get in on that game if you can. And then coming up the 28th and 29th of January, we're not letting you rest any. We have Operation Icebreaker, and we're working out a deal with one of our vendors, Grey Wolf Tactical Combat for Midcap Mags. For this event, we're hoping to be able to release the promo code and all the details to you guys next week on the show. We're hoping to have Chris and or Paul on the show. Hang on, guys. I'm sorry. Hoping to have Chris and or Paul on by phone on the show next week. So they'll be able to talk a little bit more about themselves, a little bit more about Grey Wolf Tactical, and give you guys a little bit more insight on what they're all about. So definitely be looking for that. And like I said, once we get the promo code, we'll go ahead and we will get the details out on how that promo code works for you. But they're helping get you guys mid-cap mags. So definitely want to be part of that. We have a little break. We don't really see anything in February, but we come right to March, and I will be there playing for this one, Operation Stonebreaker 2017. From what I understand, this is the field that Faded Giant 5 is going to be on. So this field has played a lot. And it's going to be at Barnesville, South Carolina. So I'm looking forward to be there, and I plan on having a great time. And again, I'll be using my gear. So if anybody wants to ask me questions about the gear I use, feel free. And like I said, why would I make something and sell it to you guys if I'm not using it myself? Hang on one second, Malachi, and I will get right back to your question. That is a good question, though. So right after that, we go break. I haven't seen any other major events really pop up to me or been, invited to by friends and stuff on Facebook. But we come into August, and August 18th through the 20th is Operation Black Dagger 2, the Hollistan Offensive. And this is going to be at Georgia Airsoft again, the same place that Black Dagger 1 is at, and the same place that Icebreaker will be held at as well. So definitely check this out, guys. This is going to be a great event. This event is progressive. So wherever things were last event, not only will we pick up there, but we're also going to pick up with new objectives, new missions, new fragos. It's a whole new ball game now. So be ready for this. We've got a lot of great ideas. I mean, we got plenty of time right now. So a lot of things are being worked out. So as soon as we get new things going, we'll let you know. I can tell you one of the new things will be actual operational radio stations throughout the field. Like on each base, we'll have a main radio station that they'll actually be able to contact to the admins and whatnot. We were working on that. We were having some issues with radio cutout through the event. So we have designed a new way to not only make it portable, but to make it all self-contained and so that it can get further range. So be looking for those. Last time I talked to Chuck was talking about putting oil rigs on the field for us. And I haven't been out to the field since this. I'm hoping to get out the Icebreaker or out to the field maybe early December, late November, maybe during that holiday, Thanksgiving holiday time frame when everybody's off. Get out to the field, walk the field, and see some new structures, get some new pictures and some new video. So, but Operation Black Dagger 2, 18th through the 20th. We also have our cool tent design already ready to go. We're going to buy all the supplies here this year so we can build one and have it ready to go so we know what we're looking at. But again, you guys get hot on the field. We're going to have this set up off the field. We might even make a smaller one for each end of the field. So that way, if anybody is feeling dehydrated or feeling overheated, they can take their gear off and go to this cool tent, which will be in an out-of-bounds safe area. And we'll make sure we put even more protection around that, like blue tarps and stuff like that, to keep any sort of BBs or ricochets from hitting that. So a lot of events going on. I mean, we're getting to the end of the year, end of 2016 with a bang, and 2017 is going to pick right up. I'm looking really forward to 2017. My goal is to hit one major event every month. So that way I can get out and meet more of you guys, especially the guys that buy my products. I want to talk to you guys. I want to see what you think. You're the field testers or the extended field testers for a lot of our gear once we make it. So I want to go out and meet you guys and maybe debut some new stuff that you haven't seen on the website yet. And we're just like, oh yeah, we're just trying, just testing this. We just built it a couple days ago and we figured we'd bring it out and test it. So, but that's what's going on right now. Let me come back to Malachi's post here. He said, so no red smokes in Operation Icebreaker. That is correct. The reason for that is in our rule sets, and we'll make sure we push this out to everybody. Again, if you went and watched the live Q&A session that we did last week, Wednesday or Thursday, it is on our YouTube channel. So you're on our YouTube channel right now if you're watching us. Go to our other videos. You'll see it. Go ahead, watch it. A lot of good information from there. But anyways, the reason why we're not allowing players to use red smoke is that will be safe for admins. The admins will have the red smoke. That will signify any sort of immediate danger or anything along those lines. If we have a player down and it's something severe, we'll pop red smoke. And, the admins will each have enough that we can pop each one and throw it onto the different ends of the field and let players know that if you see red smoke coming up on the field, not only with the verbal commands coming across radios, we're going to have loud whistles with us. We have our bullhorn, and you will know that, oh, hey, dead man, take a knee, pull your mag out, put your weapon on safe, and stay right where you are and wait till we give the command to get up. So this way you guys know what's going on. So, yes, no red smoke is allowed And what I can tell you is if you have Enola Gay WP-40s, I was talking to I was talking to Paul last week when we were doing our Q&A session. You guys saw it on there too. We were discussing that if you come to the game with Red Smoke, the WP-40s, they will do an exchange with you guys. And like I said, the reason for that is we want to make sure only the admins are using Red Smoke. It's just a safety factor. I think it's great. But there are so many other colors of smoke out there. I don't really see a need for you guys I don't see the issue with just admins having the Red Smoke. So we will carry other colors. If we see kind of things bogging down in a certain area, we may pop the black smoke and throw that out there to kind of give a screen to allow movement to happen and things of that nature. So, but yeah, no Red Smoke by players, only admins. May have some active duty Army coming to role play at Icebreaker. That's awesome. Role players are going to make a big difference in any of the games we do. They put a level of frustration into the game. So they can be your best friend, they can be your worst enemy, or they can be your worst friend and your best enemy. So it all depends on how you want to work it with them. So, so what I told you I wanted to talk to you guys, like I said, you guys have been doing a great job. I've been checking that poll that I put up on the Falcon Fly By Facebook page, asking you guys what you wanted me to talk about. And there's Milsim Airsoft, which I'm all about talking about here. If you guys have questions or you want to start a lively discussion about certain things, we can talk about which way airsoft is going, things of that nature. There's also gear, first aid, that we can talk about. And then I think my last one, issues facing airsoft. So what I told you guys I was going to talk about is your battle belt and your rigger's belt. We see a lot of impressions out there. A lot of people are wearing that leather belt. Like, I guess SEALs wear those. I don't know. I've seen pictures of it. So you build that impression to fit the way you want. I can tell you, I'll show you the rigger's belt that I've been using for a while now. This rigger's belt right here is, it's a Condor rigger's belt. So you guys can see the little Condor labeling right there. And I've had this belt now I've had this belt probably for 6 years, 7 years, maybe, probably 6 years, close to that. And it has never failed me. It is Velcro, which I like. And the rigger's belt has a lot of different, obviously, applications. You got the little D-ring there. You can use these to actually put it around your waist, hook a D-ring in there, and you can rappel down. You can pull somebody up if you need to with it. But this is what I put through my trousers to keep my trousers up, and it's never, ever, ever let me down. I have this one, and I have a tan one, and I can tell you guys right now, I'm a 40-inch waist, and this belt right here, actually both this one and my tan one are medium larges, so they do give you plenty of space. And I love this belt. Like I said, I've had it for quite a while, and it's never let me down. Now, I see a lot of people, they get those Cobra clips for their belts, and they like those, and that's fine. Those are great belts, too. I've seen a lot of them. I've seen the Tac Taylors. I've seen the RDR Customs. So I've seen a lot of different belts out there. But I think the Condor one, the best bet for your money. Condor. Okay, hang on. Now, as for squads go, last event, the squads ended up being an entire army and really sync together. Will the system of squads be changed? For Icebreaker, it's going to be a little different. I mean, it's still based up to your COs for each side, your person in charge for each side. But I think you're going to see a little bit different dynamic than what you saw at Black Dagger. But again, these are things we can talk about at the next Q&A. So good questions, though. Good questions. So I want to talk about, now we go to our second. This is my battle belt. This is a Tac Taylor size large. For any of you guys that, I don't want to say haven't heard of Tac Taylor, but don't know where they're at, they put a nice little tag inside their stuff. And I actually, they're in Tacoma, Washington. When I lived in Washington, I lived 20 minutes away from the Tack Taylor warehouse. And I was another probably 3 minutes up the road from their main retail store. So it was really cool. I mean, being that I have an account with them and I order my mouse clips and everything through them for Kydex, you know, going into their store, seeing a lot of stuff they have, and I use a lot of their products. They're a great store, so definitely check them out too. I'll put their link in the description for the video as well. But so on my second line, or my battle belt here, I have different pouches, and since I am left-handed, I'll kind of go around from my left side. I have my pistol. This holster was probably one of the very first torch holsters that I ever made. And as you can see, it has my old ATP in there with, I think it's their APL light. And never let me down. And I have that right on my left side there. Then I have an Emerson. I got a small Emerson pouch is what I did. And like I was telling you guys last week, when you build your first aid pouches or your little personal IFAK, this thing is awesome. And yes, the patch on there says Mandalorian as fuck. So it is true. Open it up and I can, right there, I can slide my 2 ace bandages in there if I need to. And I have even more storage right there as well. I think this pouch, I got it from Shooter CB Gear. And I want to say the pouch was I think it was no more than like $10. So it wasn't bad at all. Then I have no idea who this pouch is, but this is my drop pouch right here. It's right on my back. It's right where I want it. And I actually traded one of my close friends for this. He wanted one of the pouches I had, and I wanted his drop pouch because it's smaller and more compact, and got it. So this is right on my back. I have another Tack Taylor pouch that is, again, it's used to, I have a extra pistol mag in there. Here is one of my dead rags. And then, yeah, there's nothing else in there. But again, I know where my extra dead rag is. I know where my dead rag is, so I can pull it if I need to. And I also use this pouch to where if I roll with the M28 and I decide to take a marksman roll for the team, I'll throw, 1 or 2 speed loaders in here that are full, and that way I can stay out in the field longer. And then just a Spec Ops regular mag pouch for M4 mags, and I can fit 3 of them in there, and I have extra mags on me. So if I want to roll quiet, I can just take my gear off and just roll with my belt. This Tack Taylor belt I've had for quite a while. I actually bought that when I first moved to Washington and was very impressed with it. There it goes. When you go to look for battle belts, there are 101 different ways you can potentially do it. But I can tell you through use of that battle belt, it's probably one of the most comfortable battle belts that I've ever used. It's I never seem to really run out of space. And here shortly, I'm going to be, I have the little areas between pouches. That's where I'm going to be dropping my 40 millimeter pouches, is right in there. So I will have smoke grenades all the way around my battle belt, on top of being on my gear. So that way I can run more smoke grenades. It's easy for my team. If they need one, they can pull one right off the back and they're good to go. So when you guys are designing your battle belts or how you're placing your gear out, what I do is I think about, how am I going to use that pouch? What's the intent? Or am I just going to use it? Do I just want to put it on because it looks cool and I might use it? Or am I actually going to use this pouch for something while I'm out in the field? And that's how I look at it as I put stuff on. I always know I'm going to use my IFAK. Why? Because that's where my 2 ace bandages go down into. Excuse me. That's where my backup dead rag will go into. So I know I'm going to use that pouch. Some games I know I'm not going to be close enough to ever use a holster or use a pistol. So I may take my holster off and put that in one of the inside pockets of my gear slinger bag, because I know, hey, I'm not really going to need my pistol, but if I absolutely have to go into a building, I can pull that from my gear slinger bag, and I don't have to really put it on my holster. I don't have to take up the space of my belt. I can put another pouch there. I can put my radio pouch, or I can, something else there. I always look at, depending on the game I'm going to and what role I plan on playing, or that I am going to be playing, I want to make sure I have my belt set up accordingly. Now, I'm not saying go out and go buy a bazillion different pouches or 15 belts and build 15 different belt setups. What I'm saying is, think about the pouch before you buy it. Does it have multiple functionality? And what I mean by that, one game you can use it for this, the next game you can use it for that, and then another game you can use it for something completely different. So you really want to look at the versatility of the pouches that you put on your battle belt, because you don't want to overload it. You start overloading your battle belt and you're going to cause yourself lower back pain throughout the game. You're going to cause pain in your hips. And it doesn't matter how old or young you are, it will happen. And through the course of the day of running all over the place, your belt will start to loosen up a little bit because of the weight and it's bouncing around. So the other thing you want to make sure you do is say, oh, I know I'm going to put mags here. I'm going to carry this here. I'm going to carry that there. Load it, put it on, and do jump tests. And I do this with my gear all the time because I want to see how much noise I make if I'm running. So I'll put my gear on and I'll jump up and down for about 15, 20 seconds. And that'll give me a good idea if I feel like something might come out or it's really banging against something. So that way I can make changes to it if I need to. So those are just a few tips on what you can do to help secure your second, your belt, your second line, and make sure you have everything good to go. Now, I've even looked at different configurations to where if I was going to roll an EOD/medic roll, where would I put my grenade pouches? Well, I know with my 40 millimeter pouches, I can put those everywhere because they're so small. So I don't have to worry about grouping them in one area or like, oh man, I got to move this or make this closer. I can put those 40 millimeter pouches in. And then what I'll do is once they're in place is I will take time and say, okay, can I get to that pouch where it's at? Okay, yeah, I can. It's good. And that way I can test everything and make sure that I'm not going to lose anything while I'm out in the field. There's other things that you can add to these belts that I've done before, like the Haley drop leg rig, which you can put, two or three M4 mags in, or two M4 mags and two pistol mags, and like one section can carry like a Gerber or something else. So you can also add drop leg pouches and stuff to your belt. This particular belt actually has really no such place where that comes out, but I have seen other belts where there's slits on the bottom that allow you to hook like a drop leg holster to, or things of that nature. Where me, I like to have my holster up on my hip or up on my chest so it's easy to get to. So that's pretty much my I guess my spiel per se for your battle belt and your rigger's belt. And like I said, the rigger belt I have it's a Condor belt, and as much crap as Condor takes, I have never had an issue with that belt ever. It's a great belt. I wear it all the time on the weekends or when I'm out and working in the shop. I have it on, and I have never ran into an issue with my Gerber belt. Or with my Condor Riggers belt. I just haven't. And they're great belts. So I recommend, if you can find them, pick one up. The price on them, I think the retail price is like $15-20, and that's not a bad price at all. So definitely look into it. And make sure you do research on your battle belt before you go and pick one up. Don't pick one up because everybody else has one and you're like, oh, I'll just get what everybody else is using. Do some research, look at reviews, and that'll give you a good insight on your battle belt. So that's pretty much what I have to say about my Tactical Tailor battle belt. I'll go ahead, I'll search the link for you guys, and I'll put the link for the belt in the description for the video, so that way you guys can check it out if you want. Like I said, I really like the Tac Tailor gear. I think they do a good job, and they're a US based company, veteran. I believe they're veteran owned. So it's a good company to deal with. So definitely check them out, and I'll post their link to their store, their website as well too. So we're coming up on 8:35, so about 25 minutes till 9. Do I have any other questions at this point? If you guys have any questions about Black Dagger or Icebreaker, go ahead, ask. we've got plenty of time, and I can go ahead and answer any questions you guys might have. No questions right now. All right, guys. Well, this is probably one of our shorter Falcon flybys. Normally we go the full hour, a little bit over, but that's all right. Just want to let you guys know one more time, we have the Flyby Live podcast, which will be Wednesday, October 26th. Be sure to check that out. That's always a fun time. Jason is a regular listener, which I appreciate. Share the link out, share the invite out, let people know to come and join. It's more adult level. We talk about more of the current events going on right now, election, Black Lives Matters. We talk about social media, social justice warriors, sovereign citizens. I mean, we cover the gambit, and I always like having discussion going on about it. So please make sure you guys check that out. And again, it's live. You guys can respond. You guys can give me questions, comments, and we can even open our phone line up. We do have a phone line that we can use for questions and stuff during our podcast and our live broadcast as well. So October 26th is when the flyby is, and then our next Falcon flyby will be on the 30th. So Halloween is the 31st. Be wary of those scary trolls. We might just take it and do it on the 29th, so that way we can do it on Saturday, and hopefully we'll have a bigger audience. I know Sunday is tough because we got school and things of that nature going on for little ones and parents and whatnot. So I want to say thanks for everybody that showed up and tuned in. I want to say thanks to our sponsors again, Multi-Mold Guns, Grey Wolf Tactical Combat, and Defiant Industries. And be sure to check them out. You can go to the Falcon Flyby page, and you can see our three main sponsors. And thanks a lot, guys. Remember, keep safe. Have yourself a good week. Watch out for those clowns, and I will be talking to you guys all on Wednesday. Take care. Doc out.